Welcome back to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert. Y'all know my pal Susan, and you're getting to know my beautiful Aunt Linda as well. We're talking about the power of storytelling. And, Aunt Linda, you wondered about how much to share. You're welcome to share anything you like because you saw how much it spurred in both Susan and me, and will in our audiences too, because the power of storytelling is everything we're about. So please feel free to continue with anything you're feeling about storytelling or the specifics of the journey you're on right now.
Well, I adore the way you ended the last episode of rewriting my own story or anyone else's, because for so long I held it as, but I know the truth, and this truth is ugly, and I'm the one who's holding on to the real story, and so to rewrite it sounded like I'd be some kind of fraud. Mm-hmm. But on this journey, it's such a heart-opening thing, and there's so much to tell about it. I don't even know how much detail, but
let me throw one in.
Yeah.
So Linda and I had planned this little road trip after a retreat that we went to together, and she had checked all around with her family and didn't have any specific place to go until she put together Flagstaff from the information in the Bible and Catholic, called the One Cemetery. And when she did, and the gentleman told her, yes, he's here, I'm not sure I can take you to the exact place, and Linda told that's to me, I filled up with tears. It's not even my grandfather, and I was so excited for the possibility. And we showed up, and he was.
And this man named Vince said, very kind man, said, he may be in an unmarked grave. He's in the oldest area, and some of those were unmarked. And it kind of made sense to me because I think he was pretty penniless when he died. I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah, hold that thought for just 1 second, because there's something metaphorical and beautiful. I know you get this as a writer too, about an unmarked grave and an unmarked life, right? An idea of, as you said, dying as an alcoholic in the streets. There's something so heartbreaking and at the same time, I think, epically possible within the exploration of that. And the fact that you're seeking and that you have this wonderful cohort in, Susan, to be excited with you, to put the energy behind that is just lovely. Please continue.
Well, we found the area where he was buried, and this Vince was just going to extraordinary measures to try and figure out exactly where. And I was feeling quite emotional, and actually could feel my grandfather's presence. And I turned to him because he was, like I told him, you're like a dog on a bone, and I appreciate it, but I'm getting really emotional. My grandfather's here. So he was very kind and just left. And I'm standing there completely sobbing and having a conversation with my grandfather that I never had. And then
he told you to stand up.
Yes. Well, I was sobbing and I had my head down, and my grandfather said, hold your head high. Hold your head high. Mm-hmm. And I could feel my Grandma Grace just ecstatic that I had done this. And I was determined, if I could, to get a marker for his grave, if that was possible. And then
Grandma Grace, his wife.
Pardon?
Am I following the lineage correct that Grandma Grace was his wife?
Yes. And his name is Edward Sweeney.
Because Grandma Grace, I knew a little bit. I got to know her just a little, and I know she had a bigger presence in your life, certainly too. So
yes. And he had a very big presence for a long time before alcoholism took over, as the story goes. Very charismatic man, and he was a mining engineer here throughout Arizona and a lot of places.
And he died in 1949, so it was a long time ago. But at this point in your story, we really only had a general area where he was
buried.
You felt him, but it was a general unmarked area.
And what I love noting here is, you talk about an idea of where he was physically. There's also where he was spiritually within you. That's the lovely thing, is to bring those together experientially, to say there's a place I want to hold him, and I need to find some physical energy to see if I can marry those things to perhaps give me that. So we're at the end of this, but we're not at the end of this story. We'll be back with our next episode of the Daily Dose.